Good evening, Unanda. Welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, we are commemorating December 25th as Good Governance Day in India, also known as Sushan Divas. Sushasan Divas, which is observed in India annually on 25th of December, honoring the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Good Governance Day was established in 2014 to honor Prime Minister Vajpayee ji by fostering awareness among the Indian people of accountability in government. In keeping with the principle, the Government of India had declared Good Governance Day to be a working day for the government. On 23rd December 2014, the 90-year-old former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya posthumously were announced as recipients of India's highest civilian award for the merit, the Bharat Ratna, by the Indian President Pranab Mukherjee. Following the announcement, the newly elected administration of Prime Minister Narendra Modi established that the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister would be henceforth commemorated annually in India as Good Governance Day. In 2019, the Modi government launched the Good Governance Index, a scientifically prepared tool based on various parameters of good governance, which assess the level of any state at a given point of time and help in shaping future development. Today is also commemorated as birth anniversary of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who is born on 25th December 1924, was an Indian politician and poet who served 3 times as the 10th Prime Minister of India, first for a term of 13 days in 1996 Then, for a period of 13 months from 1998 to 1999, followed by a full term from 1999 to 2004. So Vajpayee was one of the co-founders and a senior leader of the BJP. He was also a member of the RSS, a Hindu nationalist volunteer organization. He was the first Indian Prime Minister, not of the INC, to serve a full term in office. He was also a renowned poet and a writer. He was member of Indian Parliament for over 5 decades, having been elected 10 times to the Lok Sabha, the lower house, and twice to Rajya Sabha and the upper house. He served as MP for Lucknow, retiring from active politics in 2009 due to health concerns. He was among the founding members of the BJS, of which he was president from 1968 to 1972. The BJS merged with several other parties to form the JP, which won the 1977 general election. In March 1997, Vajpayee became the Minister of External Affairs in the cabinet of Prime Minister Morarji Desai. He resigned in 1979 and the Janata Alliance collapsed soon after former members of BJS formed BJP in 1980. The Vajpayee, its first president. During his tenure as Prime Minister, India carried out the Pokhran 2 nuclear test in 1998. Vajpayee sought to improve diplomatic relationships with Pakistan, traveling to Lahore by bus to meet the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. After the 1999 Kargil war with Pakistan, he sought to restore relationships through engagement with President Pervez Musharraf, inviting him to India for a summit at Agra. Vajpayee's government introduced many domestic, economic, and infrastructural reforms, including encouraging the private sector and foreign investments, reducing governmental waste, encouraging research and development, and privatization of some government owned corporations. During his tenure, India's security was threatened by a number of violent incidents during 2001 Indian Parliament attack and 2002 Gujarat riots, which ultimately caused his defeat in 2004 general election. The administration of Narendra Modi ji declared in 2014 that Vajpayee's birthday, 25th December, would be marked as Good Governance Day. In 2015, he was conferred India's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, by the President of India, Pranab Mukherjee. He died in 2018 of age-related illness. Vajpayee was born into a Kankujra Brahmin family on 25th December 1924 in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. His mother was Krishna Devi and his father was Krishna Bihari Vajpayee. His father was a school teacher in their hometown. His grandfather, Shyamlal Vajpayee, had migrated to Morena near Gwalior from his ancestral village of Bateshwar in Agra district of Uttar Pradesh. Vajpayee did his schooling at the Saraswati Shishu Mandir in Gwalior in 1934. He was admitted to the Anglo-Vernacular Middle AVM School in Barnagar, Ujjain district, after his father joined as his headmaster. He subsequently attended Gwalior's Victoria College, Agra University, now Maharani Lakshmi Bai Government College of Excellence, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Hindi, English, and Sanskrit. He completed his post-graduation with Master of Arts in Political Science from DAV College, Kanpur, Agra University. His activism started in Gwalior with the Arya Kumar Sabha, the youth wing of Arya Samaj movement, of which he became the General Secretary in 1944. He also joined the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, in 1939 as Swayamsevak or volunteer influenced by Baba Saheb Apte. He attended the officers' training camp of the RSS during 1940s to 1944, becoming a pracharak, which is an RSS terminology for a full-time worker in 1947. He gave up studying law due to the partition riots, and he was sent to Uttar Pradesh as a Vistarak, a probationary pracharak, and soon began working for the newspaper of Deen Dayal Upadhyay. Rashtra Dharma, a Hindi monthly, and Panchanjanya, a Hindi weekly, and daily Swadesh and Veer Arjun. By 1942, at the age of 16 years, Vajpayee became an active member of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, although the RSS had chosen not to participate. In the movement at that time, in August 1942, Vajpayee and his elder brother Prem were arrested for 24 days during the Quit India movement. He was released after giving a written statement that while he was a part of the crowd, he did not participate in the militant events in Bateshwar on 27th August 1942. Throughout his life, including after he became Prime Minister, Vajpayee has labeled the allegation of participation in the Quit India movement to be a false rumor. In 1951, Vajpayee was seconded by the RSS along with Deen Dayal Upadhyaya to work for the newly formed Bharatiya Janasangh, BJS, a Hindu right-wing political party associated with the RSS. He was appointed as the national secretary of the party in charge of the northern region based in Delhi. He soon became a follower and aide of the party leader, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. In the 1957 India general election, Vajpayee contested elections to the Lok Sabha, the lower house of the Indian Parliament. And he was elected from Balrampur. He was influenced by Jawaharlal Nehru to the extent that he mirrored his style, diction, and tone of his speeches. Nehru's influence was also evident in Vajpayee's leadership. In the Lok Sabha, his oratorial skills so impressed that Prime Minister Nehru that he predicted that Vajpayee would someday become the Prime Minister of India. On the occasion of Nehru's death on 27th May 1964, Vajpayee termed him as the orchestrator of the impossible and inconceivable and likened him to Hindu god Rama. Vajpayee's orational skills won him the reputation of being the most eloquent defender of the Janasangh's policies. After the death of Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, the leadership of the Janasangh passed to Vajpayee. He became the national president of the Janasangh in 1968, running the party along with Nanaji Deshmukh, Balraj Madhok, and L.K. Advani. Vajpayee was arrested along with several other opposition leaders during the internal emergency imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1975. Initially interned in Bangalore, Vajpayee appealed his imprisonment on the grounds of bad health and was moved to a hospital in Delhi. In December 1976, Vajpayee ordered the student activists of the ABVP to tender an unconditional apology to Indira Gandhi for perpetrating violence and disorder. As part of the movement, Gandhi ended the state of emergency in 1977. A coalition of parties, including the BJS, came together to form the Janata Party, which won the 1977 general elections. Morarji Desai, the chosen leader of the alliance, became the Prime Minister. Vajpayee served as the Minister of External Affairs or Foreign Minister in Desai's cabinet. As Foreign Minister, Vajpayee became the first person in 1977 to deliver a speech in the United Nations General Assembly in Hindi. In 1979, Desai and Vajpayee resigned, triggering the collapse of the Janata Party, and the erstwhile members of the Bharatiya Jana Sangh came together to form the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) in 1980 with Vajpayee as its president. Leading up to Operational Blue Star, there were several protests by Sangh Parivar, including a march led by L.K. Advani and Vajpayee of the Bharatiya Janata Party to protest against the lack of action to demand the Indian Army to send to the Golden Temple. In 1984, general elections were held in the wake of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi's assassination by her Sikh bodyguards while he had won the 1977 and the 1980 elections from New Delhi. Vajpayee shifted his hometown Gwalior for the election. Vidya Razan was initially tipped to be the Congress independent candidate. Instead, Mother of Scindia, CN of Gwalior royal family, was brought in on the last day of filing nomination. And Vajpayee lost to Scindia, managing to secure only 29% of the votes. Under Vajpayee, the BJP moderated the Hindu nationalist position of the Janasangh, emphasizing its connection to the Janata Party and expressing support to the Gandhian socialism. The ideological shift did not bring its success. Indira Gandhi's assassination generated sympathy for the Congress, leading to a massive victory at the polls. The BJP won only 2 seats in parliament. Vajpayee offered to quit as party president following BJP dismal performance in the election, but stayed in the position until 1986. He was elected to the Rajya Sabha in 1986 from Madhya Pradesh and was briefly the leader of the BJP in parliament. In 1986, L.K. Advani took office as the president of BJP. Under him, the BJP returned to the policy of hardline Hindu nationalism. It became the political voice of Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir movement, which sought to build a temple dedicated to the Hindu deity Rama in Ayodhya. The temple would be built at a site to be a birthplace of Rama, which is the place originally where Rama temple was built, which was demolished, and a Babri Masjid was constructed at the site. So, which then stood there. The strategy paid off for the BJP. It won 86 seats in Lok Sabha in the 1989 general election and making its support crucial to the government of VPC. In December 1992, a group of religious volunteers led by members of BJP, the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad has taken the movement. He served as a member of Parliament Lok Sabha for various terms, stating at Balrampur from 1957 to 1962. He served again from Balrampur from 1967 to 1971, then from Gwalior from 1971 to 1977, and then from New Delhi from 1977 to 1984. Finally, he served from Lucknow from 1991 to 2009. In December, and there are many positions that has been held and various accomplishments and hardships that has been part of his life. Vajpayee remained a bachelor for his entire life. He adopted and raised Namita Bhattacharya as his own child, the daughter of longtime friend Rajkumari Kaul and her husband B.N. Kaul. His adopted family lived with him. Unlike purist Brahmin who shun meat and alcohol, Vajpayee was a noted poet writing in Hindi. His published works include Kaidi Kaviraj Ki Kundalin, a collection of poems written between the 1975 to 1977 emergency, and Amar Aag Hai. With regard to his poetry, he wrote, "My poetry is a declaration of war, not an exordium to defeat. It is not the defeated soldier's drumbeat or despair, but the fighting warrior's will to win. It is not desperated voice or dejection, but the shivering shout of victory." Vajpayee had a stroke in 2009, which impaired his speech. His health has been a major source of concern. Reports said that he was reliant on a wheelchair and failed to recognize people. He also had dementia and long term diabetes. For many years, he had not attended any public engagements and rarely ventured out of the house except for checkups at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. On 11 June 2018, Vajpayee was admitted to AIMS in critical condition following a kidney infection. He was officially declared dead at 5:05 p.m. on 16th August 2018 at the age of 93. On the morning of 17th August, Vajpayee's body, draped with Indian flag, was taken to the Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters, where party workers paid their tributes until 1 p.m. and later that afternoon, 4 p.m., Vajpayee was cremated with full state honors at Rashtriya Smriti Sthal near Rajghat, and his pyre was lit by his foster daughter, Namita Kaul Bhattacharya. Thousands of people and many dignitaries attended his funeral procession, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and President Ramnath Kovind. On 19th August, his ashes were immersed in the Ganga River at Haridwar by cow. India reacted to Vajpayee's deaths and grief, and thousands of tributes poured through everywhere, online and offline, and even on social media platforms. Lakhs and lakhs of people paid their respects during their funeral procession. A 7-day state mourning was announced by the central government throughout India. The national flag flew half mast during this period. And various dignitaries from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, Israel, Japan, Mauritius, Pakistan, Russia, Sri Lanka, United States expressed condolences and paid homage tribute to Vajpayee ji. And he has various awards, honors of international recognition. He has, in 1993, D.Lit from Kanpur University, and in 1994, Lokamanya Tilak Award, 1994, Outstanding Parliamentarian Award, 1994, Bharat Ratna Pandit Govind Ballabh Pant Award. And Vajpayee received various state honors like Padma Vibhushan in 1992, the second highest civilian honor of India, Order of Osim Alauti, 13th February 1999, Grand Cordon, the second highest civilian honor of Morocco, Bharat Ratna on 27th March 2015, the highest civilian honor of India, Bangladesh Liberation War Honor on 7th June 2015, the second highest honor of Bangladesh awarded to foreign dignitaries. In 2012, Vajpayee was ranked number 9 in Outlook magazine poll of the greatest Indian. In August 2018, Naya Raipur was renamed as Atal Nagar. In October 2018, four Himalayan peaks near Gangotri Glacier named after his name. Vajpayee authored several works of both Hindi poetry and prose. Some of his major publications are not limited to, which are collections made of his speeches, articles, and slogans. National Integration, New Dimensions of India's Foreign Policy, 1979. Gadbandhan Ki Rajniti, Kuch Lekh Kuch Bhashan, 1996. Bindu Bindu Vichar, 1997. Decisive Days, 1999. Sankalp Kal, 1999. Vichar Bindu, Hindi edition, 2000. India's Perspective on ASEAN and Asia Pacific region, 2003. न दैन्यम न पलायनम नई चुनौती नया अवसर, and also other poetic works like Kaidi Kaviraj ki Kundaliya, Amar Aag Hai, Meri Ikwavan Kavitaएं. Some of the poems were set to music by Jagjit Singh for his album Samvedana. Kya Khoya Kya Paya, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Vyaktittva Aur Kavitaएं in 1999. Values, Vision and Verses of Vajpayee, India's Man of Destiny, 2001. 21 Poems, 2003. Chuni Hui Kavitaएं, 2012. An English translation of a selection of some of the Vajpayee's Hindi poetry was published in 2013. So the administration of Narendra Modi ji declared in 2014 the Vajpayee's birthday, 25th December, would be marked as Good Governance Day. The world's longest tunnel, Atal Tunnel at Rohtang, Himachal Pradesh, on the Leh-Manali highway was named after Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The third longest cable-stayed bridge in India over the Mandovi River, Atal Setu, was named in his memory. The government of Chhattisgarh changed the name of Naya Raipur to Atal Nagar. The Films Division of India has produced the short documentary films Pride of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 1998, and Know Your Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 2003, both directed by Girish Vaidya, which explore different facets of his personality. Vajpayee also appears in the cameo in 1977 Indian Hindi language film Chala Murari Hero Bane by Asrani. In 2019, Shiva Sharma and Zishan Ahmed, owners of Amash Films, acquired the official rights of the book The Untold Vajpayee, written by Ulek NP, to make a biopic based on Vajpayee's life from his childhood, college life, and finally turning into a politician. Aapki Adalat, an Indian talk show which airs on India TV, featured an interview with Vajpayee just before the 1999 elections. Pradhan Mantri, a 2013 Indian documentary television series which aired on ABP News and covers various policies and political tenures of Indian PMs, include the tenureship of Vajpayee, the episodes Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 13 Days Government, and India during 1996-98, Pokhran II and Kargil War, and 2002 Gujarat riots and fall of Vajpayee government, and so on. Vajpayee's government introduced many domestic economic and infrastructure reforms, including encouraging the private sector and foreign investments, reducing government waste, encouraging research and development, and privatization of some government owned corporations. Among Vajpayee's projects were the National Highways Development Project and Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. In 2001, the Vajpayee government launched the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan campaign, aiming at improving the quality of education in primary and secondary schools. Rajghat, which is a memorial complex in Delhi, India, the first memorial was dedicated to the Mahatma Gandhi, where a black marble platform was raised to mark the spot of his cremation on 31st January 1948 and consists of eternal flame at one end, located at Delhi's Ring Road, officially known as Mahatma Gandhi Road. A stone footpath leads to the uh, walled enclosure that houses the memorial. Later, memorial complex was expanded to include other memorials for other prominent people, including Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Charan Singh, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, among others. Rajghat loosely translates to royal steps with the word royal, alluding the importance of the place, and steps referring to climb from the banks of Yamuna River. So in 2000, the government of India under Vajpayee took a decision to not to create separate memorials for different leaders as the already existing memorials were occupying more than 245 acres of prime land in Delhi. So in the same complex, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the 10th Prime Minister of India, a memorial is named with Sadaiv Atal, that means film forever. So the Good Governance Day is celebrated every year on 25th December to foster awareness among the people of the country about accountability in governance and government. So wish you all happy Good Governance Day. There are many examples of good governance in Bharat's long history. We must draw inspiration and ensure that systems are dedicated to creating a society that cares. His advice to Indian Administrative Service officers in 1947 rings the true even today. Your predecessors were brought up in the traditions in which they kept themselves aloof from the common run of the people. It will be your bounden duty to treat the common men in India as your own, putting people at the center of governance architecture. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has altered the vocabulary of good governance through his clarion call to reform, perform, and transform. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji launched the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra on December 11, 2023. It is a defining moment in Bharat's historical journey. A nation of 1.4 billion is dreaming big. It wishes to become a $5 trillion economy having the state of art infrastructure, provided citizens equitable access to high quality of education and healthcare facilities, enhance livelihood opportunities, and enlarge the range of income generating activities for its youth and women. Enthuse entrepreneurs and investors through an investor friendly ecosystem to generate wealth and employment. It's a nation that does not want anyone to be left out its growth story. Over the last few years, the government has placed unprecedented trust in the enormous capability of its people and has launched programs which were successful because of people's participation. This is a government that could visualize Swachhta or cleanliness as people's movement. Jan Bhagidari or public participation has become the key principle of program implementation. People, as agents of change, are increasingly being empowered to access information and knowledge to transform their lives for the better. Susashan or good governance has become the most promising pathway for societal transformation. For converting the gains of freedom, Swarajya, for the establishment of a well governed state, or Surajya, the Prime Minister has led his transformational journey, articulating the framework of inclusive development as Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, support for all, development of all, and winning the confidence of all, to which added the element of responsible citizenship and participative development through Sabka Prayas, efforts for all, efforts of all. The transformation will require a critical appraisal of existing laws, rules, and procedures, making them as people friendly and transparent as possible. This reform process has received the personal attention of our country's leadership, and many archaic laws have been replaced. Some have been simplified, and quite a few pieces of legislation have been enacted. Good governance is possible if every government functionary is clear about the goals he or she has to achieve and knows her or his role as well as the time frame in which the tasks are expected to be completed. Constant enhancement of capacity functionaries is essential. The managerial style and administrative leadership have to be revamped to facilitate the competence building and motivation, enhancing process rather than relying on traditional command and control functions. Leaders must develop the art of listening, teamwork, collaboration, mutual respect, empathy, and probity are traits that need to be internalized. The system must be agile and collect credible data, analyze areas for correction and improvement, and act swiftly upon evidence. This requires a mindset that values openness, honesty, reflection, and consultation, and works towards constant improvement. Delivery is the key. The last mile is the most difficult to reach, but the ultimate test of our systemic strength. The low hanging fruits are easy. We should not be satisfied with initial success. Leaving no one behind and ensuring that the achieved growth and equity is crucial for social harmony and sustainable development. PM Modi ji has demonstrated that technology can be leveraged to reach out effectively to the marginalized and cut transaction costs and petty corruption. The direct benefit transfer is one such example of creative use of technology in improving last mile delivery. In few days, we shall be inaugurating a new temple at Ayodhya to Lord Rama, a king who, in our collective consciousness, exemplifies exemplifies the value of good governance, truth, righteousness, respect for people's voice, and collaborative endeavor. There are many examples of good governance in Bharat's long history. We must draw inspiration from them and ensure that governance systems are dedicated to creating a society that cares, shares, and grows, that is not shy of admitting its shortcomings and is bold enough to overcome them. Today is also commemorated as National Pumpkin Pie Day, the symbol of harvest season in fall and the desert past around most of the Christmas table gets its special day on the National Pumpkin Pie Day, featuring a pie shell base filled with pumpkin custard. Pumpkin pies are garnished and served with various spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. So, if you have missed out on celebrating National Pumpkin Day around Halloween, now it's time to make it. Pumpkin pie itself has a quite rich history. The name originates from the Greek word pepon, meaning large melon. This was adopted by the French as pompon and was eventually changed into Pompeian by the English. The first pilgrims who settled in the Plymouth colony may have made a sort of pumpkin pie with the pumpkins brought to them by Native Americans. The first settlers were able to make a pumpkin custard using milk, honey, and spices. This is also what led to serving of pumpkin pie at the first Thanksgiving ever. In 1651, famous French chef Francis Père de Laverne published one of his most important French cooks, Le Vrai Cuisinier Francois, the true French cook. This was translated into English in 1653 and featured a recipe for pumpkin pie under the name Torch of Pumpkin. Recipes for pumpkin pie made their way into English cookbooks for the 1670s. Experimental recipes lessened and a more defined version started appearing with the inclusion of spices. Other optional ingredients included raisins, apples, and currants. But in 1796, the pumpkin pie really took shape with the American cookery, was authored and published by American orphan Amelia Simmons. Was the first of its kind to contain recipes more suited to American taste and had a recipe for pumpkin pudding, which is baked in a crust which was similar to pumpkin pie we eat today. Nowadays, the recipe inspirations for pumpkin pie are endless thanks to the Pinterest and other sources. A staple dessert on Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and pumpkin pie really is the perfect holiday treat. The largest pumpkin pie in the world was 20 feet long and arrived at the New York Bremen Pumpkin Fest. It consisted of 109 gallons of milk, 1,212 pounds of canned pumpkin, 2,796 eggs, 15 pounds of cinnamon, and 525 pounds of sugar. In the olden days, pumpkins were mostly used as an ingredient for making pie crust rather than used as a filling. Pumpkins were once famous for curing snake bites and getting rid of freckles, and pumpkins were used as a remedy. The traditional American pumpkin is the Connecticut field variety, which is only in America. The first jack o' lanterns were made using potatoes or turnips. It wasn't until much later on when pumpkins were considered a more suitable choice. So the pumpkin wasn't the original choice for carving. Which other food is so iconic that it spans over three big holiday celebrations? Pumpkins are the center of Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas and deserve their own big way. The dinner table is incomplete on Christmas without a pumpkin pie. Its guests passed around a lot and is loved by almost everyone. It's a tradition to have pumpkin pie during the holiday season. Today is commemorated as Jesus Christ's birthday. Is primarily associated with Christianity in the Western world. Jesus was born in Nazareth in the Galilean region of Israel during the reign of Herod the Great. When Jesus was 30 years old, he met John the Baptist, who declared Jesus to be the Son of the God and baptized him. After heading to a high mountain to pray, Jesus' face began shining and his entire body glowed with a white light. And not long after the transfiguration, Jesus traveled to Jerusalem where crowds gathered heralding him as the Son of the God. When when Jesus realized he would be arrested and almost certainly executed, he gathered his disciples for a last supper, gave his friends and followers his final words of faith, and told them that one of them betrayed him. The Last Supper. Christ is not Jesus' last name. The name Christ actually refers to a title or office rather than a given name, translated from the Hebrew word of anointed or translated into English as Messiah. Jesus had several siblings, including brothers James, Joseph, Judas, Simon, and at least three sisters whose names have not been recorded. And Jesus was a part of big family. Some non-Christians also recognize Jesus, like in Islam, Jesus commonly translated as Isa, is considered one of the God's important prophets, a bringer of scriptures and the Messiah. However, Islam does not consider him the Son of God as Christians do. Today is also celebrated as Christmas Day for spending time with family and observing important day, partaking in light-hearted traditions, or just spreading some holiday cheer. The fact is that no one knows the exact time and place of Jesus' birth. In the Bible's New Testament, apostles Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John share similar stories, but they never actually name the date of Jesus' birth. So December 25th is largely attributed to the first Christian historian, Sextus Julius Africanus, around 221 AD. So, in one view of why December 25th was chosen as the official date for Christmas, historians believe the early church wanted to link the Son of God's birth with the rebirth of Sun, which arrives after the winter equinox. A second view bases the date around Jesus' date of conception on March 25th at the spring equinox, and December 25th would then be the date of Jesus' birth exactly 9 months later. At one point, the church has designated January 6th as Jesus' baptismal date and the correct date for Christmas. By the 9th century, Christmas was observed only as a minor holy day. Today is also commemorated as Gold Mile in Ireland on December 25th. It is one of the Ireland's most popular annual events and is seen as a Christmas tradition for many Irish families. Gold Mile events are run by individuals and communities across the nation. The practice was first established in 1982. Then Noel Carroll, the chairperson of Gold Global, asked the local people to run a mile at Phoenix Park on Christmas morning for the organization. It has been annual tradition since then. The Gold Mile usually happens in the morning, though timings may differ. Today is also commemorated as Quaid-e-Azam Day in Pakistan, which is celebrated on occasion of Muhammad Ali Jinnah's birthday across Pakistan, who is known as the founder of the country and was known as Quaid-e-Azam, which means the great leader. Jinnah was made Governor General of Pakistan on August 14, 1947. He worked hard to set up a government and organize a country torn by communal violence. He died 1 year after he was appointed the Governor General of Pakistan in his home in Karachi. His efforts for the country have enshrined him as one of the greatest leaders of Pakistan. Today is also commemorated as Alphabet or Day or No L Day. The day uses a pun to refer Christmas Day. The name of the holiday is a play on the word Noel, which interestingly linked to the idea of Christmas. It means to be born and is used by French. The day is meant for pun enthusiasts across the world. Puns have been around for eons, used by people across the globe to entertain either each other and lighten moods. A pun or paronomasia is a form of wordplay that exploits multiple meanings of a term or similar sounding words for an integrated humorous or rhetorical effect. Puns have been around for eons across the globe, languages, genders, and ages. The earliest evidence of puns came from ancient history, where they were used to interpret dreams and describe myths. The ambiguities invoked by puns are a result of intentional use of homophonic, similar sounds, homographic, same spellings, homonymic, words that are both homophones and homographs, or figurative language. Puns are used in comedy, literature, rhetoric. So with this, we shall end today's commemoration. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Before leaving the platform, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.